Here we have a Python script, and at the top you'll notice something really important. It looks like we're importing something, some kind of function. This is known as a library. So in this video we're going to look at what Python libraries are and how you can manage them with a package manager named pip. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Following on from our last video, today we're going to cover the importance of Python libraries and why you need to know what Python libraries are and how they can really add value to your Python scripts. So today we're going to go through Python libraries, a few examples, and we're also going to cover pip and how we can use pip to manage them. So without further ado, let's make a start. So the agenda, we're going to look at what a Python library is. We'll look at some definitions. We'll look at what pip is and how you can run pip on your machine. And then we'll look at how we can execute a few commands in pip to manage some of the libraries within Python. So a definition for you right here. A Python library or Python libraries are a set of useful functions that eliminate the need for writing codes from scratch. So libraries, if you think about them, are essentially pieces of code that have been written by people all over the world, and by utilizing them in your Python code, it'll save you a lot of effort in writing additional lines of code or complex lines of code. There are over 137,000 Python libraries present today. So Python libraries play a huge part in the Python programming language. And many of these libraries cover all sorts of functions from machine learning, data science, visualization of data, scraping and grabbing data from different sources. So essentially data manipulation and many, many more. Let's take a look at some example libraries. So today we're going to look at some popular libraries. We've got some extremely popular libraries like pandas. You've got libraries like plotly. Pandas is one of the more popular ones. It's used for reading data and essentially managing and manipulating data. You'll see it in a number of different scripts that we'll cover. I use pandas a lot for pulling in and reading Excel and CSV files. But there are other more popular known libraries that exist out there, things like TensorFlow, which is used for machine learning applications, NumPy for mathematical calculations, scikit-learn is another one, also used for building machine learning, and then you've got some visualization libraries like Plotly and Seaborn. So there are a huge list of Python libraries out there. Here's just a few examples, but it's really important that you know what these are, because they're very much going to make or break your Python coding experience and your Python learning journey. So what is pip exactly? So pip essentially is a package manager. It's a library manager. So all the libraries we discussed, pip is used within Python to manage those libraries. And pip allows you to drop and install, upgrade, and move around libraries as you need them to make sure that your Python code and your Python scripts work. Now, pip and Python aren't the only ones. There are other package managers out there in other coding languages. So, for example, a few here. So npm, for example, is a popular one used in Node.js. Bower is another popular one used in web languages like JS, CSS, and HTML, just to name a few. So let's take a look at how we can run pip on our machines. So what we want to do is make sure first and foremost that we have Python installed on our machine, and you want to run an instance of command prompt. So if you search for the letters CMD, it'll bring up an instance of command prompt if you're on Windows. If you're not and you're on Mac or Linux, you want to search for terminal. So let's boot up an instance of command prompt. I'm just going to expand this right here, and here we've got a window open available to us. And providing you've got Python installed on your machine, if you search for the word, if you just type in the word pip, it'll bring up a list of commands that pip is associated with. So here, for instance, you can see we've got commands like install, download, uninstall, and these allow you to manage and your libraries or your packages in this respect. So this gives you a common list of commands if ever you want to refresh out on what some of these are, or if you can't remember exactly, pip, just typing in pip will confirm that. Additionally, there's a few more commands. We'll take a look at these now. Obviously, we're concerned about libraries. So what we want to do is search for what libraries we have on our machine at the moment. So if you type in pip list and hit enter, pip will essentially give you a list of all the libraries on your machine. So here you can see this library right at the top, Anio, and you can see what version we have. Going all the way down, we've got pandas here, which I talked about earlier, as well as some more common and more popular ones. So here you can see I've got a full list library. Obviously, I don't have thousands and thousands, but these are the ones that I use in my Python packages and my Python scripts. So this is a great way just to quickly check what version of the library that you have. So if you're doing some data analysis work or you're doing some machine learning work, you can quickly check to see what library you already have or what library you're missing on your machine. The next the next command I'm going to show you is how you can actually pull up a list of all outdated packages. Now, why is that important? Let's have a quick look here. So we're going to do pip list, but this time we're going to do 2 dashes and we're going to type in the word outdated. What this is going to do, it's asking pip to give us a list of all the outdated packages and libraries that we have on our machine. Why is that important? If you're developing a piece of machine learning if you're developing a machine learning application or a machine learning program, you want to make sure you're using the latest packages. So let's take a look at some of these outdated packages on my machine, and we'll pick an example here which we can upgrade as well. So here you can see we've got some of those packages which were mentioned earlier. You can see the majority of them are out of date. Is that a problem? Not necessarily, because sometimes you may have developed a Python script using a specific package in that version. So therefore, upgrading the version may not always give you what you want. It may in fact break your Python program or your Python script. But sometimes it's important to make sure you got the latest package. So one package I use quite frequently is pandas. And as you can see, I've currently got 1.2.0. But what I really need on the latest version available to me is 1.4.3, as you can see here under the column latest. So what we're going to do is install pandas, the latest version. So what you want to do is type pip, again, install pandas, and then 2 dashes, and we're going to type upgrade. So this will hopefully upgrade our version of pandas from version 1.2.0 to 1.4.3. And as you can see, pip is going about that right now. It's shown us that we've already got pandas, but it's actually found a newer version of pandas, and it's quickly going to run through that for us and make sure we've got the latest version. Perfect. So now you can see we've successfully uninstalled 1.2 and we've managed to upgrade and install 1.4. So now if we go back to our list, pip lists, we should now see pandas as 1.4. If we have a quick look, here you can see we've got 1.4.3. So that upgrade command worked perfectly. So what if I want to see a list of all up-to-date packages? So not outdated packages, but up-to-date packages. So there is a way to do that. So you type pip list dash dash, but instead of typing outdated, you type in up-to-date. I hit enter. And now we'll receive a list of all up-to-date packages on our machine. Give pip a moment to do that. And you can see, obviously, the majority of my packages are out of date, but you can see a handful here which are up to date, pandas being one of them. So this is a great way to check what versions you have of different libraries, and a great way to upgrade different libraries as and when you need them. And just to also add finally that you can uninstall different libraries as well. So say for instance, I no longer need, let's just pick one here, janitor. And we'll do that actually. Pip uninstall. Make sure you spell this right. Pip uninstall, and we're going to type in janitor. I don't need this package actually. We're going to hit enter. And then pip is now asking us just to confirm, do we actually want to uninstall this library? So you have to enter Y for yes and or N for no. Obviously, we want to uninstall it. So we're going to hit Y and enter. And now pip will proceed to uninstall the package. And we've successfully done that. And guys, the opposite is also true. So we can install new packages. So we're going to type in pip and let's just reinstall janitor again. We're going to type in janitor. Make sure you got the spelling right. Hit enter. And you can see now we've successfully installed janitor 0.1.1. You're probably wondering what all these other mentions are. Essentially, these are dependencies. So these are dependencies. So janitor, in order for janitor to work, it needs a few of the packages and libraries. So these are what is known as dependencies. So whenever you install a package, you may see a number of other packages being installed at the same time in order for that main package to work. And that's it, guys. I hope you found this one really useful. It's a really short little video just showing you the importance of Python libraries and Python packages, as well as how to use pip to manage and install your libraries. You'll need them because frequently, coders who are working in Python will often throw up and receive error messages, and that's because they're using an out-of-date library. So use pip to go in and manage and update those libraries to make sure you're working with the latest. So in terms of next video, we've got a few more content coming up. We're going to look at data types in Python. So we're going to do some basic groundwork here, and then we're going to look at some basic commands in Python to get you really started with your coding journey. So please stay tuned, please subscribe. See you in the next video.